Hello and welcome to the program. My guest today is Atiku Abubakar Isah. He is a former state secretary of the defunct All Nigeria People's Party, that is the ANPP in Kogi State. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, our politics is getting really interesting, with the 2023 general election coming up. But one issue now that people are talking about is the costs of presidential tickets for the All Progressives Congress. It is 100 million naira, a whopping 100 million naira. And the People's Democratic Party, I think it is 40 million naira. But why has it become so expensive to serve the fatherland?
It is an irony that a party that campaigned in 2015 on a tripod including fight against corruption is the same party now, having won the election, that is trying to democratize corruption. From the amount being charged, the exorbitant amount being charged, Nigerians will agree with me that what the APC expects anyone who becomes the president, who is not God-fearing, to do while in office is to be able to recover those amount of money by looting the treasury.
But let's not just the APC now, even that of the PDP, we know is not as expensive as that of the APC, but people say even at 40 million naira, it's still quite expensive. If you look at the salary of a president, according to data from the Revenue Mobilization Allocation Commission, it is about 1.7 million naira monthly, and annually it is just about 14 million naira. Even that of the PDP and even all the political parties is expensive.
That is correct. All the political parties, including the small parties, charging very high rate for their forms, not only that of the president, but other offices. But that of APC is very, very high, and they need to review that. They need to review that, because I don't know how they expect people who want to serve genuinely to be able to afford that amount. And I know in the APC, only very few people will be able to afford that, except those. I'm not talking about those in office who have, one way or the other, done certain things that are not in conformity with the laws of our land. They will be able to afford it also, but only very few of them, and there are about 15. All the 15 that have indicated interest might not be able to buy the form, except what they are doing now that I am not in line with whatever they have said, that people are donating money to them, and in few days you see some have been able to raise billions, some hundreds of millions. But I can't imagine somebody who wants to serve his fatherland to bring up that amount of money. That is not correct. If you want to prune down the number of people who are aspiring for president, who are not serious, there are other areas. And if they want me, I can help them. If they don't have what it takes to be able to think very well, I can help them. Before you are a member of a political party, you need to register at your ward. And if you register at your ward, then you can bring certain criteria, like those who have attended meetings, those who have contributed. The contribution might not be financial alone. Even the financial, if you are a serious member, you need to make financial commitment to the growth of your party. And the financial commitment is not much. The amount that you need to use to promote your party is not much. And that almost all Nigerians will be able to do that. So you look at those that have been attending meetings at their ward, or depending on their level. And those that have done one thing or the other for the party, these are the ways to prune that, because I know presidential aspirants that I am not even sure that if they have gotten their membership card. But because they are billionaires, they just feel that Nigerians are hungry at this moment. They can be able to throw around billions and get the ticket. And most especially the way it is now that most conventions, not only the APC, I have to be frank at this moment, that it is more of trading of humans. Trading of humans in the sense that if you have money today, I bet you you can win the governorship primaries of your state, minding the political party. All you need is to be able to come around people who know, who understand the politics to direct you. I want to bet you that with 5 billion, all the states in North Central, you can become their governorship candidate in the primaries. You don't need to be known at all. Within a month, if you have 5 billion, I can tell you how you spend 3 billion in all the states in North Central. There's no state in North Central that you cannot, with 3 billion, not even spending up to the 5 billion, that you cannot win the primary election and become the candidate of the party. This is because people, those who are delegates, in most cases go there to see what they will be able to get back, not thinking about who is capable, who will be able to do what is right. All they think about is that, okay, if I go for the primaries, any aspirant is able to give me a millionaire or 2 million, I will vote for that aspirant to become the candidate of the party. And in so doing, they vote in people that later they will come to complain. That's why I am not, I also blame the masses also for the rot in this country. That is what is happening. So that's why people who have money just believe that, okay, look at the APC. Those who have not contributed anything to the development of this party are the ones running around to say that they want to become president. As at 2015, they were either fighting the party or I know of a presidential aspirant who is a serving minister now that while I was talking with him around December 2015 or so, at that time President Muhammadu Buhari had already been elected as the candidate of the party, but he was not, they were about to start the campaign, but he had just won the primaries in Lagos. He was asking me if the Muhammadu Buhari can win, if he should support. I said, this man is going to win. He said, oh, are you saying that because, is it because he's a Muslim? I said, it's not because he's a Muslim. This man is seen to be a very upright man in the north and in the south. Those who have, who know him, said, are you sure? I convinced him. The highest he did was that when it was time for the campaign, he went for his state and the zona. Just showed his face based on the advice I gave him. Even though I wanted him to be more involved, but he was not seeing how Muhammadu Buhari will win the election. But today he's a serving minister. He was minister in the first tenure and he's a second term minister, and he's contesting the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under the same party that he didn't even believe in, President Muhammadu Buhari. So these are the characters you find contesting. I know of very few who, by all standard and what they have done, yes, they can contest. Yes, these are people that should contest, but not the number that you are having. The people that should contest the primaries and APC that have what it takes, and what the APC leadership should have done at the party level was to be able to use some of these criteria I'm talking about, to be able to pull down the numbers, but not raising the, not saying 100 million naira. Some of us will not be able to have 100 million naira, but of course there are many Nigerians with 100 million naira who can throw a 100 million naira and nothing. They will not go back and be thinking. So they are not, that statement is in itself is fraudulent.
Okay, let's look at your party, the People's Democratic Party. All is not also well in the party. We have also seen a list of presidential aspirants, and then they are trying to come together to see how they can all agree on a consensus candidate, and this seems to be tearing them apart. We have just seen Governor Tambuwal of Sokoto State issued a statement that he's pulling out of that consensus arrangement because it doesn't seem to favor him. Is it feasible when you know the southern governors are also insisting that power should shift, the presidential ticket should be zoned to the south?
The consensus arrangement was initiated by few aspirants from the north, not all the aspirants from the north. I am very sure, and I know that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president, is not among those rooting for consensus from the north. But His Excellency Governor Tambuwal, His Excellency the former Senate President Bukola Saraki, His Excellency Bala Mohammed, the Governor of Bauchi State, and one other person. So these are the four men that came together that one of them should be the consensus candidate for the primaries, so that they can go and slug it out with the southern aspirants also. So now they have come, the northern leaders have come out with two of them. And at this point, I want to advise His Excellency, the governor of Sokoto State. I was at a residence where I was seated. He came for a meeting for that same consensus arrangement. Bukola Saraki came, Bala Mohammed came. I think these were the three that were at that meeting. And I could see that though he wanted himself, but based on what the result that is out, that Bala Mohammed and Bukola Saraki should, one of them should be the aspirant for to contest the presidential primaries. I think the northern leaders have done a very good job. If you look at what they have done, they have shown commitment, character, leadership to be able to bring out these two. And I also want to suggest and advise the governor of Bauchi State that he should withdraw and leave it for Bukola Saraki.
So where does that keep or put the interests of the southern governors who say that if you look at the arrangement of zoning and all of that within the People's Democratic Party, it's fair, just, and equitable for the presidential ticket to be zoned to the south?
I think they are making a mistake, and they are not very correct with even the history of this country. I don't know if it is because of their interest. I was with the then governor of Jigawa State in 2015 in his office. He told me specifically that why they supported Goodluck Jonathan in 2015 was because they had an agreement that in 2015 he was not going to contest. So President Goodluck Jonathan has already thrown away the zoning arrangement, even though it's not constitutional. When it was time for him to honor the agreement, he refused. That is, I am quoting him directly and mentioning his name. He was then the governor of Jigawa State. Sule Lamido. And I was just the same way we are seated. I sat with him and he was telling me this. Because he was facing challenges. And he said, okay, Atiku, look, this is what happened. We had an agreement with the president. Because I was rooting for him because I believe he has the capacity to be able to move the country forward. That we had an agreement that President Jonathan will not contest, so that it is the turn of the North to produce the next president. Having thrown away that, nobody from the South should be able to come out and even say that they should honor which agreement. Nobody from the Northeast has become president of this country. Atiku is from the Northeast. Bala Mohammed is from the Northeast. So if there's any zone that is supposed to produce the president, it is between two. In the People's Democratic Party, it is either the Southeast or the Northeast. For now, if these are the two zones to be considered, but any other person saying Southern, even the Northern consensus, I don't think it is right. All of them should go to the field. There's no zoning in our constitution, and even that of the PDP, the former president Goodluck Jonathan has thrown that away. So nobody should talk about, especially from the South. Nobody has the moral right from the South. Nobody to say that PDP should zone its ticket to the South. Though I might have my own candidate, the person I feel should win is from the South. But given other consideration, I am not only supporting Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to be the next president, I am praying seriously for him to become the next president, because the person that I also believe has the character and the capacity to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria from the Southeast is Peter Obi. And as it is, because of the illiteracy rate in this country, the statistics is given, his capacity, his character as a person, as a man who is very frugal. And that is one thing I like about him so much, that ordinarily remove Atiku. He's the next person. And after him to me is Saraki, in that order.
President Goodluck Jonathan's name is still being bandied around. Some people say he might throw his hat in the ring. We do not know which party. Maybe it's the PDP or the APC. But it seems, even he has not come out to say that openly, later has he come out to state that he's not interested in the race. But it seems we might just have Goodluck Jonathan on the ballot, maybe in one of the two political parties or any political party in the country.
From what the former president has been doing, he's not going to contest under the platform of the PDP. because he has not been attending meetings, he has not been having anything to do with the PDP. If he is going to
because
contest,
he has been busy, he's a special envoy to
Mali,
and he's been on international assignments. He can't be excused for that.
There's no excuse that can be given to him. He will be able to find time, even if it's to show his face. Even if during the last convention, he should have been able to show his face, even if it's just for 5 minutes, and then go. If you are traveling, because I also heard that some governors were actually, because he was actually busy, wanted to charter a private jet for him, that he comes to the convention ground after the convention, and even if it's for some few minutes, and then let the private jet take him to anywhere he's going, anywhere around the world. But he refused. He has not been, and his relationship with the president, Muhammadu Buhari, has been very cordial. Of recent.
Well, that's because he was appointed as the special envoy to Mali, and he comes to brief the president about his engagement with the military regime there in Mali. So maybe
and other political issues, and also other political issues, because he comes frequently. He's not the only former president we have alive, but he comes almost frequently. They discuss other issues, and when I was in the APC, I hear very serious information about his activities and how they want to bring him. But I want to advise him as somebody who loves him so much. Somebody, because those around him and those who want to use him might not tell him this. The greatest mistake President Jonathan will make will be for him to contest the president again. And the worst will be under APC.
Yes, it is his right to contest.
It is his right. But as it is today, he's about the most respected former president, not only in Nigeria, in Africa, and by extension, among the respected former presidents in the world. So why will he throw that to the dustbin? But if he contests, he can win and he can lose. If he loses, then he has lost so much. It doesn't let him continue to live as an elder statesman. He has achieved everything. There's nothing remaining. This is the former president. He was president not just for a single term, for about 6 years or so. So what is he coming to do now that he was not able to do then?
Okay, let's move from politics now to talk about the state of insecurity. It's tied in the northeast, but we are beginning to see an emerging threat in the northwest and the north central region. And what we are hearing from security agencies is that it's a lack of intelligence. Not that they don't try to get the intelligence, but they don't get the cooperation from local communities. What is going on in this region? You are also from the North Central.
You see, I hate to talk about the insecurity in this country because I'm very passionate about my country and I love my country dearly. And I want to let you know that my background is computer science. And from the little I know about the course I studied, it is laughable for the insecurity to have to all these years to continue, and it is spreading everywhere. But I've been able to find why this thing has not been able to be put to an end, and why it will continue. And not only continue, it's going to be worse again.
So tell us why.
Okay. First, there's no political will. Let me be very careful with the words I use. But I must tell you that our leaders are not only very wicked, but sometimes I think, and while I'm alone in my room and I'm crying because of this, I remember for those who are Muslims, they are fasting and they are praying. And among those that are praying for Nigerians and those, none of my family members has ever been kidnapped. I travel on the road everywhere. I have the worst I have seen is after the incident, I will come, and that is about 1 or twice that I saw that. So I don't have anybody that has been kidnapped, but it is not when my family member is kidnapped or that is affected before I should feel for my country. These are my citizens of Nigeria, and I'm a Nigerian. So that's why I pray all the time. And I am also passionate. That's why I'm in politics. And secondly, a situation where people using religion to cause serious political threat in the country. And with due respect to the leaders of the North, the emirs from the Sultan, they have failed woefully. And sometimes I wonder when I see them in the masajid. Masajid is the plural of masjid, and that is mosque. So when I see them, I always feel, I shake my head. Are these people Muslims? Let me tell you why I'm saying this.
They are not the service chiefs.
No. They are the major problem. Before we go to the service chiefs, with due respect, I don't care. If only Atiku will be killed and Nigeria will live peacefully, I am ready to sacrifice my life. I don't hold any political office, but I'm very ready. The only thing I will request for is for me to be allowed to speak with my family for just 2 or 3 minutes to tell them that I am sacrificing my life for this country. If only me will be killed, even I don't care how I will be killed, for this country to live peacefully. So you have a situation where somebody will give birth to 10 children, throw them away. I am a father also, so I know what I am saying. I know what I go through to pay the school fees of my children. And I know what I got, even though I love women. I know why I have not married a second wife. Because I will not be able to take care of 2 wives and the children she will give birth to. Even the ones I have, I go through a lot of stress because I know I am not doing them a favor. They were not in attendance in a meeting between me and my wife before we gave birth to them. So it is my responsibility to ensure that they are fed, they live in a comfortable place, they go to school, they learn so many things. I give them the correct moral upbringings to the extent that I have a child that about 4 or 5 years will tell me that, Daddy, you said this is not correct. Why are you doing this? I have to sit down and explain. And when I'm wrong, I say, I am wrong. And you should understand that it doesn't mean that because I'm your father that I will not be wrong. All just the same way I've always told you that if you are wrong, you apologize. It's the same thing to me too. So you cannot give birth to 10 children, throw them away. You marry another one again, you come and tell me that the Quran says you can marry 4 wives. I challenge all the scholars anywhere in the world. Call me back with any scholar. Let me give evidences from the Quran and the authentic hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that it is wrong. Nowhere in the Quran that you can give birth to 100. The Prophet ﷺ said he will be proud of his ummah, that he wants his ummah to be a large number of them that he will be proud of. Are you saying that you insulted the Prophet, that the Prophet will be proud of a Boko Haram person, a bandit, a drug addict, a womanizer? Is that what you are saying? So the emirs from the Sultan, anybody who is listening to me now should tell the Sultan that he has failed the Muslims of this country, and by extension Nigeria as a country. And all the emirs, I think very few of them, which I will not mention their names, that have done and are doing really well.
How are you tying this with?
What I'm telling you this, they are supposed to come together and say, and that's why sometimes when they tell me that Dangote is the richest man in Africa, I laugh. Is it not ashamed to say that he's the richest man? And Boa, the richest man from Kano, or number 3 man. These are people. Why can't they come together with the emirs and say, let's sit down and see. Let's put an end to this. We can build. We are not stopping anybody from reciting the Quran. I am memorizing the Quran, and I give myself not a few years from now, I'll memorize the entire Quran. And my children are also doing that. I have always challenged that. My children are living in my house, but they can anywhere in the world challenge any of their peers when it has to do with the Islamic knowledge. Because I make effort, I teach them, and I pay, they go to school. That is what the emirs and the rich men in the north are supposed to do. Come together, build schools for this Almajiri. These Almajiris are the worst people. Sometimes my wife had to tell me that, no, the position you have taken regarding the Almajiri is wrong. Before I understood with her that, say, don't any Almajiri I see in front of my house drive. Don't you ever. He said, no, we are giving food. And I said, no, I'm not challenging you based on giving food. It is allowed. But these boys are dangerous because I know what they do. I see the videos they watch. Tell me, are we a serious people in this country that a child of 5 years left Sokoto to Zaria for Almajiri? Are we not hypocrites? Do we have leaders? So that's why when I was at a program, when I see these emirs, I just shake my head and leave because I don't want to see them. I am angry. I'm an angry man. I have always been an angry man. Sometimes I'm alone in my room. I cry because of things happening. How can you send 5-year-old boy? I have a son who is 10 years. I've always told my wife that don't send him on errand if he's not being accompanied. She'll say, no. I say, no. He should be accompanied. Yes, I'm not saying don't send him on an errand, but you can't send a boy of errand to somewhere like 1 kilometer, and they are living more than 100 kilometers from their parents, and you say they are reciting Quran. What kind of Quran are they reciting? Is that what the Prophet ﷺ taught? That is on the side of the emirs and the leaders of the north. All of them are flawed.
On that of security agencies now, what strategy haven't they adopted, or what strategy are they adopting that is not working on the final note?
I will tell you the strategy they have adopted and why the insecurity will continue on their own part, from the chief of defense staff and other service chiefs. Why the insecurity will continue? Because of the strategy they have adopted. The strategy they have adopted is to loot the treasury, and because they feel it is their turn to loot. What these service chiefs,
most of this cannot be proven.
I am saying it on a national television. Forget about that. It is insulting to the sensitivities of Nigerians for you to say this. Deploying what? Deploying what? See, I have a 10-year-old boy who I took to Zaria for one single reason. And while he was around in primary 1, around 3, 4, 5 years, because in Zaria I have so many military officers, I inculcated in him that the best profession is the military. That is the only thing you will be as a man, that you will be a proud man in the future. And when he was about 9 years, he will run around the field 10 times, because I know soldiers run, and so that when he goes, I wanted him to join the military at the secondary school. There's NMS, Nigerian Military School, and I was working towards that, even saving money and making contacts so that he will be able to get admission. But now I'm trying to see how we'll be able to change that perception, because he so much loved the military. Now, but I know, because of antithesis, I don't want my son to become a coward. He will be shocked that because it is cowardice of the military now, not the entire military, but the top hierarchy. Cowardice. I don't want my son to be like that. What these men are doing is that if an Igbo man is there, Hausa man is there, they feel it is their turn to loot. And in looting, I have a neighbor who is a military man, very upright, sincere, who also made me to think that my son should join the military. But I see the way his family suffer. Seriously, the allowances are not being paid. I tell you, because the political will, let me marry that to the political will. The leadership of this country is supposed to ensure that the allowances of those who are in the forefront of the war are being paid. Oh, they are not being paid. I am telling you categorically, let them challenge me. Let them challenge me. So the allowances are not being paid. Certain things that need to be done are not being done. When they say they are going to buy weapons, even the NSA said sometimes back, that when they say they want to buy weapons, they share the money among themselves. They are billionaires.